everybody, this is Cube of Cars. I am Mike, and today I finally want to give you an update on my Lotus Esprit S4 Turbo, and especially I want to answer one question that's often been asked, that is, how much does it cost every year to own and drive a Lotus Esprit? And after this video you will know in detail what I spent on the car in my 4 years of ownership, and you will know if the Lotus Esprit is a budget supercar which breaks the bank or if it's not.
Okay, let's start with the purchase price. I bought the car 4 years ago with 41,000 kilometers on the clock for a price of 21,000 euro. And it was in a very good condition. It was a two-owner car with no accidents, so I didn't have to do any work before I could register and enjoy the car. In Germany, the annual tax for my summer-only registration is 74 euro. The annual insurance is 346 euro for a fully comprehensive cover with an agreed value for a special car insurance. And this kind of insurance, you just need a second car as your daily driver, and you need a valuation to determine the current market value of the car. So I had to do such a valuation. In fact, I did it already twice. That was about 160 euro each. Then there is the mandatory inspection. This hits you every second year here in Germany and costs about 100 euro each time. So for the annual cost calculation, it would be 50 euros to add. So far we have annual costs of 550 euro, but we haven't yet touched the maintenance costs and the repair costs. Let's check the maintenance bills first. Within the 4 years I had 2 services. An annual service would be totally over the top if you cover only 2,000 kilometers per year like I do. At least that's in my eyes like that. So I had 2 services. One was a small service which was more or less just an oil change and changing the brake fluid, and that one costed 430 euros. And then they had one big service with the essential change of the cam belt and also changing the brake pads at the rear. And this big service, which I did at the Lotus Specialist, costed 1,180 euros. And out of these 1,180 euros, the cam belt change accounted for 700 euros. So I think that's a very interesting figure, because if you own a Ferrari, for example, it's always, at least that was always the reason that I didn't want to buy a Ferrari, because I was afraid of these horrible costs for maintenance, for servicing, for changing the cam belt, where you maybe have to take out the engine. So with the Lotus Esprit, it's not necessary to take out the engine. It's quite a simple job for a specialist to change the cam belt, and it's 700 euros. Other maintenance work were 2 services for the aircon, which costed 66 euro each, and the wheel alignment for 64 euros. In total, I have spent 1,800 euros for maintenance within 4 years, so that's 450 euros per year. And that's really not so much so far. What do you think? If the maintenance bill was that small, did at least the repair costs kill my budget? And I have to disappoint you if you think like that. They absolutely did not. So within the 4 years, I only spent about 600 euros for repairs, and it were more or less just 2 repairs. That was one headlight which failed to open, so I had to replace the headlight motor, which is a Toyota spare part, and including installation it was just 200 euros. Then I had to replace the hydraulic accumulator for the anti-lock braking system, and the spare part including installation was 250 euros, and that were in fact already the real repairs. I mean, I add also the gas pressure springs for the tailgate, which I bought already, but I haven't installed them yet because in fact the old ones are still good and it's not absolutely necessary. But these gas pressure springs were 100 euro, so I add these 100 euro as well, and in total that were really not more than 600 euro in repairs within 4 years time. A total of 600 euro in repairs is only 150 euro per year, and I mean that's really nothing. So the Lotus can absolutely not be called unreliable if you have a good car that's cared for properly. That's at least what I think, and that's what the figures definitely prove, at least for my car. If you now sum up all costs, that's exactly 1,150 euro per year, and that's really all in. That's tax, that's insurance, that's maintenance, that's repairs. And I mean, if you miss financing costs, I do not have them because I didn't finance the car. So the 1,150 euro are really my total costs per year for this car. And if you want to break it down per kilometer that I use it, I mean, I told you already I drive about 2,000 kilometers per year. That would be then 57 euro cents per kilometer. And if you want to add the gas, I mean, the car is really quite frugal. So it needs about 11 liters per 100 kilometer. So including the gas, it would be about 70 euro cents per kilometer, or if you calculate in US dollar and miles, it would be $1.30 per mile. And that's really very okay, I think. The conclusion can only be that the Lotus Esprit is probably the most economical budget classic supercar that you can find. And even if the price of a good Esprit is now maybe 30 or 35,000 euro, I mean, that's still tremendous value for money if you compare it to other sports cars of the 90s like a Porsche or a Ferrari. And there is no need to account for depreciation because every comment that you can read in car magazines is that probably the Lotus Esprit is still undervalued, and a lot of experts expect rising values. I mean, I don't want to predict any dramatic rise in value, but I also would not be very surprised if in, let's say, 2 years time from now, you have to pay 50,000 euro for a good S4. The Esprit doesn't have the multi-cylinders that maybe for some of you define a supercar, but it definitely has the looks of an old school supercar, it has the performance of a supercar of the 90s, and it also has the handling of a supercar. Anyway, no matter if you want to call it a supercar or if you just want to call it a sports car, it doesn't matter. So at least there is one attribute of a classic supercar that it does not have. It definitely does not break the bank to buy one. It does not break the bank to own one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and post a comment. See you next time.